We're here. Clock out, mentally at least, and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Broken Shift, where the codes are emotional, the tea is hot, and the trauma, oh, it's charted, just not processed, and definitely not reimbursed. I'm Nat, and when it gets deep, like grab your crystals and call HR kind of deep, that's when Natalie Michelle shows up. Just know if you hear both names, buckle up. Welcome back to the Broken Shift. My name is Natalie. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we have another story for you here. Listen, the Southeast Texas woman. Oh yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this, because the Southeast Texas woman was sentenced to 5 years for assaulting a Baptist hospital nurse who was treating her. She attacked the nurse with her fist while receiving medical treatment as a patient. And we've seen this a lot. We've seen this in Florida. We've seen it in Pennsylvania, all over the place, right? And this time where she's reaping karma. I like to call it. She's reaping karma. She's getting her sentence. So, a Southeast Texas woman was sentenced on Friday. So she was sentenced today to 5 years to 5 years in prison for assaulting a registered nurse who was providing medical care at Baptist Hospital in February of 2024. Criminal District Court Judge, I think it was 2024. That's what I think I read that, but we'll see down a little bit further. Criminal District Court Judge John B. Stevens sentenced Jenna Horn, 33, after she was convicted of assaulting after she was convicted of assault on a public servant, a third-degree felony. Horn attacked the nurse with her fist while receiving medical treatment as a patient, according to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. You know, this is so sad because this is so many of the stories that you see me talk about here, and I haven't talked about any of these in a while, but just because, it's exhausting to see like what happens. And so now this woman is sentenced to 5 years. What do you think about that? Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this sentence. 5 years in prison. The nurse sustained serious injuries from the assault, of course, right? And I'd like to find that story. I'm going to see if I can find that story while we are here. Any assaults, kicking, hitting, spitting on community servants such as nurses, medical personnel, and first responders will receive special attention and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, District Attorney Keith Giblin said. Baptist Hospital CEO Justin Doss praised the prosecution in a statement to the district attorneys. I just wonder, and I'm going to read their statement here. You can read it along with me. I just wonder really what they did after this, because so often, like in Florida, you'll hear like they put extra extra security guard in. I don't know how that's working out. There was Lilama Dahl, who I think that's her name. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Who was attacked in Palm Beach, Florida, and this she did recently go home, but this woman is now blind. She's had multiple surgeries, and she still had other surgeries that she was going to need. This woman was close to retirement. So this is just such another sad case, right? On behalf of you nurses, be safe out there, okay? If you get in a room and you feel like it's not safe, you just gotta walk out. On behalf of Baptist Hospitals of South Texas, I want to express our sincere gratitude to you, Keith Giblin, and the entire District Attorney's Office for your unwavering support of the healthcare providers across Southeast Texas, Doss said. This recent ruling sends a clear message that violence against healthcare workers in Jefferson County will not be tolerated and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Your leadership and commitment to protecting those who serve our community is deeply appreciated. This was a short story, and this is from, where was this crime? I'll link. This is from 12 News Now. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. What do you guys think? Do you think that's enough time? I'm just not sure about this. They passed some bills. It looks like the Texas they passed three legislative bills in Texas to make the workplace safer for healthcare workers. The Shooting Sparks Texas legislative bill. These three bills, Texas bills, were passed in response to the horrendous shooting at the Methodist Dallas Hospital that occurred in October 22, in which a nurse and a social worker were killed. This is another incident. So this incident had occurred prior to the other one. Why does it take so long to do something? And what is I'll put a link to this. This is on all nurses. I'm sure many of you have this, can access this if you're a nurse. If I'll still drop it in the description box. I just find it appalling. I don't know. I just don't know what to say. She went in as a patient, probably mental health issues. I'd have to look for the original. I'd have to find the original story. Let's see if I can find. Here, May 6th. Look at this. And Texas nurses face rising violence and abuse and harassment on the job. And it's not just in Texas, but this is just to show you. And this was written in May. Stephanie Wood's scariest moment as a nurse came when she was thrown against the wall by a patient who was more than twice her size. All of these. This one happened after the other incident. Surveys released earlier this year by the Texas Center for Nursing Workforce Studies paints a stark picture of the threats, abuse, and violence that many Texas nurses endure on the job. 1 in 3 Texas nurses say that they had been physically assaulted or sexually harassed in the last 12 months. 1 in 10 had been threatened with or injured by a weapon. Verbal abuse. 73%. It's increasing from 2016. It went from 62% to 73%. Threats from 40 to 55%. Physical assault from 24 to 35%. Sexual harassment from 24 to 35%. So it's not going down. I don't know. Maybe these bills will make a difference, but do you think so? If this is mental health related, do we think? There were 558 nurses that responded to the survey in 2024, and 1,114 nurses responded in 2016. That's the problem. Nurses are tired. Like, they're not responding. What is the remedy? Right? Like, what is the remedy for this? Because you're responding, you're taking these surveys, but what is actually being done about it? What are the facilities doing to make this safer for nurses? And then here's someone says, I think as you become used to any kind of behavior, you don't have heightened awareness about it anymore, said Selenia Corrington, a Houston nurse who is chair of the Texas Emergency Nurses Association Workplace Violence Committee. There are just behaviors you become used to working in a hospital. Why should we be used to being sexually harassed? Why should we be used to physical assault and threats? And yeah, that is the way. Nurses are it's really crazy. I remember being cornered in a hallway of a hospital in Pittsburgh. By a patient. It's really unnerving. It's it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I bring these stories here. Drop me a comment. This one at least has this story here. At least she is receiving 5 years for assaulting the nurse. But how about all the other ones? How about the patient that threw the nurse on the wall, like in May? 300-pound patient, like throwing a nurse into a wall. For what reason? What would warrant this kind of what would warrant this kind of behavior? Nurses are not going in and assaulting their patients. We go in. You're trained to go in. You're trained to ask them their names. To even to ask them if they want to take the treatment plan. Patients can refuse treatment plans if they wish. So obviously, I'm thinking some of this is related to mental health. If I find the story, if you guys find it, if you find the story of the woman that she actually assaulted, drop it in the comments for me. But I'm gonna take a look at it. It's really sad. Like these new bills, they pass new bills, they praise each other, and then the nurses are still getting assaulted. Workplace violence is going up. In workplace violence, how about the nurses who are verbally assaulted every day? Sexually harassed every day. When it leads to physical injury, maybe now there's some remedies, there's some bills in place. But how about the rest of it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my nurses out there, stay safe. And if you're a patient, just know there's no reason for it. The nurses are doing the best they can with what they have. They're short-staffed, and they want to give you the best care possible. They want to give you the best care possible. And how can they do it under these conditions? You go into work and you're afraid. You don't know what patient you're going to have, what mood they're going to be in. You shouldn't have to be afraid every day that you go into work. Anyway, drop me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. All right? Because nursing shouldn't break you, and it shouldn't break your patients either.